The truth that shattered Washington. Picture this. It's a routine House Oversight Committee hearing. The cameras are rolling, politicians are giving their usual rehearsed statements, and most viewers at home are probably scrolling their phones. Then Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett removes her glasses, leans forward, and says something that makes the entire room go dead silent. Barron Trump might not be Trump's biological son. Within minutes, every major news network cuts to the hearing. Social media explodes. The White House goes into panic mode. And by the end of the day, America is asking one question. Is she telling the truth? This is a story of how one woman with a manila folder brought down the most powerful man in the country. Not with rumors or gossip, but with sealed court documents that were never supposed to see the light of day. The moment everything changed. The hearing was already running late when Crockett made her move. She wasn't following any script. Her own team looked shocked. This country has spent years protecting power over truth, she said, her voice calm but cutting. And that stops today. Then she dropped the bombshell. There's a set of sealed documents from an Arizona court in 2019. Documents involving then President Trump, a former staffer, and a child. The room went deadly quiet. I have a sworn affidavit from a federal contractor who handled digital shredding of White House files. One file was different. It referenced a payment of $3.1 million to a woman under the alias TB. The only phrase that was redacted? Paternity agreement enforced under non-disclosure. She held up a photocopy for the cameras. DNA confirmation pending. Congressman Matt Overby tried to shut her down. Is this really the time? But Crockett didn't even blink. If the president knew during his first term that Barron Trump was not biologically his and buried that information to protect his image, we have a problem that's not just legal, it's moral. The hearing room erupted. Phones across America lit up like Christmas trees. On social media, the same question appeared everywhere. Did Jasmine just say Barron isn't Trump's son? The White House meltdown. While America was glued to their screens, the West Wing was in complete chaos. Trump walked into the Roosevelt room just as Crockett was saying the word paternity on every TV screen in the building. His face went white. What the hell is going on? He demanded. When his chief of staff, Brian Halford, tried to explain, Trump cut him off. She just said Barron's not my son on live television, and you want strategy? He called his lawyer, Hope Sinclair, on speaker. She can't say that. That's slander. We sue everyone. But Sinclair's response chilled the room. Sir, defamation doesn't hold if it turns out to be true. Trump's silence said everything. There was an agreement. There were documents. And somehow, Jasmine Crockett had found them. The panic was real. Trump flung a remote against the wall, shattering it. This is all because of that stupid agreement, he muttered. His own staff was learning the truth in real time. Their boss had been hiding a massive secret for years. The woman behind the mystery. While Washington burned, 2,000 miles away in California, a 51-year-old nurse named Genevieve Larkson was pulling into her driveway after a night shift. Her neighbor ran up with a phone. You need to see this. When Genevieve heard the alias TB on the news, her blood ran cold. That was her, Talia Breyer, the fake name she'd used in court. The secret she'd buried for 19 years was now national news. Her mind drifted back to 2005, to a hotel suite in Phoenix where she'd met Trump at a charity dinner. He wasn't charming, but he was persuasive. 8 months later, she had a baby and a secret that could destroy everything. When she told Trump, he first denied it. Then came the lawyers, the NDAs, the $3.1 million payment. Trump never signed a birth certificate, but he signed the check. Genevieve used the money to disappear. New city, new name, new life. Until Jasmine Crockett said her name without saying her name. The paper trail. While everyone was focused on the drama, veteran journalist Conrad Wells was following the money. He'd been tracking Trump's financial pattern for years, and something clicked. He found wire transfers from Trump shell companies to an Arizona medical testing facility called Red Lantern Diagnostics. The deeper he dug, the more pieces fell into place. Court filings under TB versus JDT, John Donald Trump. a motion for paternity testing that was mysteriously withdrawn, a notice of private resolution. Conrad had found a smoking gun. Trump had been ordered to take a DNA test in 2019. He'd refused. Instead, his lawyers filed motion after motion, citing executive obligations and scheduling conflicts. The test never happened, but the court records were still there, sealed and forgotten, until now. The judge's conscience. 2 floors below street level in the Phoenix courthouse, Judge Rosanna Vetterary sat staring at an envelope she hadn't touched in 5 years. Inside was everything. The original paternity motion, the DNA test order, responses from Trump's legal team. She remembered the pressure she'd felt to keep it sealed, a call from a federal judge urging her to keep it quiet for national security. It had bothered her for years. Now, weeks from retirement, she made a decision that would change everything. She called Jasmine Crockett directly. "Congresswoman," she said quietly, "I have something you might want to see." America chooses sides. As the story exploded across the country, Americans weren't just watching the news. They were living it. In diners and coffee shops, people argued about truth, loyalty, and what it meant to be lied by the most powerful man in the nation. In Iowa, an elderly man defended Trump. "This smells like a smear job." But a younger man shot back. "You really believe he didn't block the test? There's proof, sealed files, NDAs, the whole mess." The reaction split along unexpected lines. Some Republicans broke ranks. A councilwoman in Las Vegas resigned from a campaign committee, saying, "I can't ask others to support a man who ran from a test my husband would have taken without blinking." College students held debates. Church parking lots became argument zones. Even international media picked up the story, with one Brazilian anchor noting, "In America, power fears truth more than defeat." The final revelation. 3 days after the hearing, Crockett stepped up to a podium outside the Capitol. No fanfare, no stage event, just her and a manila folder. "I'm not here to repeat myself," she said calmly. "I'm here to end the guessing." She held up a single document. "This is the original 2019 DNA test order, issued by a state court, never fulfilled, never challenged in open court, only buried." She announced she was releasing everything. The NDA, the DNA test request, the missed court appearances, the financial settlement history, an internal memo confirming Trump's legal team advised avoidance at all costs. "Truth doesn't backfire," she said with a slight smile. "It just burns where it needs to." The aftermath. That evening, the files were published in full by multiple outlets. No spin, no paywalls, just documents. The evidence was undeniable. Trump hadn't just hidden the truth. He'd buried it under influence and money. Genevieve Larkson finally spoke, releasing a simple statement. "I didn't ask for the spotlight, but I'm not ashamed anymore. I kept quiet because I thought silence would protect my son. But I've learned that silence only protects the wrong people." For Trump, the damage was permanent. Donors pulled back. Independent voters walked away. Even his inner circle began cooperating with oversight committees. But Crockett, she didn't grandstand or launch a book deal. She returned to work, introducing bills to limit executive interference in court cases and create legal pathways for revisiting sealed settlements involving public officials. The larger truth. This wasn't just about proving someone was a liar. It was about proving that even in the most protected halls of power, truth could still get through if someone was brave enough to stand still while the world shook. As Crockett said in her final press appearance, "Your image is what you show. Your truth is what you live with. And I didn't come to Congress to guard images. I came to honor the truth." In the end, Jasmine Crockett didn't just expose a secret. She exposed a system. A system where power protects itself through silence, NDAs, and buried court files. Where the truth gets locked away in dusty courthouse basements while lies live in the spotlight. But she also proved something else. That truth, once released, is unstoppable. It doesn't need spin or marketing. It just needs someone brave enough to speak it out loud, with receipts in hand. And sometimes, that's all it takes to change everything.